Hello there, Sharky. How are you doing today? Thank you for stopping by. I hope you are well today. Hello there, Lucifer Morningstar. Thank you for stopping by. That's a mighty cool name you've got there. Just moving my little sticker around. I guess it could be up here for now, which is nice because we can actually see more of the chit-chat going on. Well, guys, I'm playing Diablo and I've got a necromancer. If you guys would be so kind, would you please tell me how the audio is for the video? Hello, Finn. Thank you for stopping by. It's nice to have you join us today. Oh my god, game is freaking out. Now we're good. Last time I was here, we were in the outer cloister of this monastery. So we're gonna go and look for some weird stuff going on, you know? And hopefully our minions will destroy everything for us. Like that. And this. Awesome. So, you guys might be wondering what's going on. If not, that's fine. Totally fine. I'm gonna grab this sword, actually, because this could be a nice base for something later. Wow, very nice. I forgot I had a legendary staff on me. I'm playing a necromancer right now. This is a fantasy game. You can play a variety of classes, and each class has different ways you can play them. So a very fulfilling game to level your character in. I also have a teleport that costs me health, so I can go through walls and kind of take shortcuts, but I could jump into enemies. Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. Poison resist, though? At least it's got... Let me check out something here. So my mercenary still has the good frames. I'm sorry, I'm checking stats right now. Yeah, we'll just put these new gloves on. Actually, nah, these ain't worth it. How are you doing today, Jacob? Thank you so much for stopping by. We're just doing a little bit of tomb raiding and demon slaying. My favorite. I don't even have to do anything if I'm relatively careful. Just let the skeletons kill it for me, you know? I'm trying to summon... There we go. I want a blood golem, not a clay golem. Not that I really use them, although I'm thinking about it. Skellies, protect me! Hee. So I'm running skeleton mages right now. Skeleton mages use a variety of magic damage to BTFO the monsters, which is great. Now, if am I mistaken? Is there supposed to be the boss here or somewhere else? Hello, Glitchy Wolf. There he is. We're gonna teleport right on top of him, over here. And then just let our minions fight to protect us. Damn, look at them go. He's already toast. They literally turned him into ice cubes. Not that he's the hardest guy to fight ever, but still. For our level, it's not bad, because we're 37. Everything here is 40. So I know that I'm doing something right with my character. The slow torture of caged starvation. I love Necromancer. He's so cool. He just knows what to say and when to say it to make it spooky, you know? We have a really edgy item here. We've got an item called the Suicide Branch. It gives me some bonus skills and makes one of my... It makes the blood teleport easier to use, basically. Just gonna teleport through the wall. Now, I'm no sorceress, which is another class in the game. Sorceresses can go all over the map in a matter of seconds and sort of speed run the game. I can't do that, but I can at least take shortcuts, so that's nice. I've already played through this game multiple times, not having a way through walls. And I will tell you, through walls is a lot nicer. I won't say more fun. Uh-oh, I'm low on health because I touched the wrong shrine. Oopsie. I'm actually going to summon some extra monsters here. And then pick up some of these potions. Just so that I can keep up. Take that one, get this one. You doing okay today, Glitchy Wolf? Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely evening. Alrighty. Just trying to make my way around the dungeons. Hello, Red Chan. A pleasure to have you stop by. How are you doing today? I'm gonna open the doors so that my minions can get through. The ones that aren't shooting a bunch of magic. Summoned a revive there. There we go. Maybe just a couple of normal skellies. Oh, dude, I can just take a shortcut right here. That's so nice. Thank you. I remember playing Barbarian and Paladin, and I had, like, no method of going through walls. And I would just constantly get stuck going the wrong way. Even though I had a map, I would just get confused what I was looking at for whatever reason. So being able to go through walls, super nice. Like that. And what we're really doing is just trying to progress through the story. Kill special monsters along the way if we see it. Damn. My minion's angry. I chose to use a healing potion on my mercenary. You doing okay today, Red Chan? Is there a chest here? Nice. Oh, well, not nice. Nothing came out of it. But whatever. La 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 la. It really is just nice to kind of chill and let the skeletons do the job for me. I've played very actively before, and some parts are very difficult. So I'm curious how well the skellies will fare when that time comes. Or fair, not far, lol. Look at me pretending I know big words. Alright, we're going to continue making our way through here. Okay, get all this. Sort of just looking around, kind of chilling. Not really super concerned if I'm going the wrong way. Hello there, Asher. Good to see you. How are you doing today? I can just teleport. I keep forgetting. But that was nice. Now they're all dead. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm just kind of playing a chill game as a necromancer. It's chill right now anyway. We haven't gotten to anything that's really held us up yet. Look at them go. They're just fighting for me. Collectively earning me passive experience. Passive, I'm getting it, but it's nice. Trying to max out my skeleton mastery so they stay stronger. I was a little worried because it looked like my game might have been glitching there for a moment, but it's okay. Sometimes the network can be pretty crazy on this game, because this is a fan-run game. There's the official Diablo 2 Resurrected, and then I'm playing the fan version. But at this moment, I believe there's like 6,000 something players right now. I would have to get on my browser and check the trading site. Nope. Alright, we got out of the jail, thank God. Just kind of boring in the jail. Now we go to the inner cloister. Do I see any specials? You know what, I'm just going to continue unless I see a pack. Like this guy. And even though he's immune to elemental damage, my mages just annihilate him. This is nice. I'm used to having to totally avoid immunes, like the plague, because of, I'll just keep that for crafting later. So you can pick up a variety of items in this game. Some items are like crafting materials. Some are really good and you want to incorporate them into your character, or via your mercenary, who's like your sidekick that helps you out. I'm gonna target this guy. Very nice. They are very good at their job, I must say. I love my skeletons. I'm so proud of them. You doing okay today, Asher? So what I'll do is I'll teleport towards the monsters, but when you do that, all of your AI locks on to where you went, like that are under your control, so you can just force all of your minions to attack the nearest thing to you when you teleport. You have to be careful, but it's still really nice. Oh, a skull. Skulls are a crafting material. Me likey. Gonna teleport over here. Gonna make our way back and explore the other sides of this map, because that was a dead end. So I found a couple of items that would have been useful if they were other characters. Oops. You know, I could probably make a spirit sword right now, but I'm not sure I really want to. Just because I feel like it might be a waste. You know what? I could probably use it and then save it for another character, which would be pretty tight, huh? Because this, the least characters I've made in one season was just one. I did that for 2 seasons. If you don't know what seasons are in Diablo, they're like these time periods where you can play a kind of competitive ladder, but instead of only killing people on the ladder, it's more so about, like, how strong your character is. And they can range anywhere from 3 months to, like, 6 months, which is pretty wild. But it gives you a lot of time to make a character you like. And one season, I only made a sorceress. One season, I only made... Ooh, do I want more cold resist or lightning resist? Hello, Ghost Jen. Thank you for stopping by. Hello. Thanks for coming by to keep me some company. I'm actually playing a Necky Mecky Monster. Oh, someone, messaged me that I haven't seen in a long time. I don't know what to say. I'll just let him come in. I just messaged him there. I'm just playing through Nightmare difficulty. So I want to know... Well, I should probably not put the onus on you and make it type it all out in my chat. So I'm just going to kind of randomly explain. I'm playing Diablo. Diablo has seasons, and each season is like... Oh, what? Oh, never mind. That's kind of whatever. Each season is like a limited amount of time for you to make a strong character. Less about PvP and more about PvE and what challenges in PvE you can take down. There is a PvP element, but it's usually with more rigorous rules and at lower levels, which I find interesting. But other than that, sometimes it's like a speed run. Sometimes people like to speed run to the end and see who gets to be first to beat the game that season, and they have leaderboards for that. Some people want a speed race to specifically killing a harder endgame boss. Some people just want to have the most maps done. Maps are like these optional but very worthwhile like separate areas where drop rates and experience are increased, but at a higher difficulty cost. And the game is balanced in a way so that more loot drops the more players you have in your game. So you can be encouraged to, you know, perhaps... Oh, I found a Worldstone shard. I'll explain that in a moment. You can be encouraged to have people join, but then you all have to sort of follow this, not unspoken, it's very spoken, code of honor, because this game is also known for having a rigorous and competitive economy, okay? Because certain items hold certain values at different parts of the season. I could go on, and maybe I will later, but long story short, people get so competitive about this game that they literally created their own in-game currency naturally. And the developers of the game didn't even intend for that. Wow, I'm just getting insane drops left and right. I got this Worldstone shard a second ago. That's basically like money for me, right? But yeah, I'm just kind of, everything's happening all at once. How are you doing today, Ghost Gen? I do not need that charm. Is this going to be useful anywhere? Soulflay? Nah, that's not useful to me right now. But I can perhaps sell it to the merchant. We're actually on our way to fight the final boss of this location, this chapter, or act, so to speak. I'm glad you had a great day, by the way. Did you get to do some chilling after your work? My day was kind of a drag, but it wasn't like the worst thing ever either. And I'll leave it at that. I'm just trying to take my mind off of it. But thank you for telling me about your day. Ow, all the rats. Are the rats good? You know, I didn't know you liked rats as much when I recommended you Vermintide. And now that I think about it, you might find that game incredibly triggering. Which I'm obviously just making a joke. Just had a look at the new area in Palia with Cola, but not done much else. What's Palia? I've never heard of that. Is it Palia? Palia? And to give you an idea of what's happening in the plot, the demons are back. So this is the second game. In the first game, the people killed the monsters. You got a cute pic of Lurgy's brother? Hit me up, bro. I'll check it out in a moment. I'd love to see. I'm glad you got to chill with the rats. And what's Palia? I gotta know. Why am I opening these doors? I can teleport. In the first game, literally, long story short, demons are taking over the planet because a hidden sect of the church that was actually an evil cult summoned the demons. And so 3 adventurers go to defeat basically what is basically just Satan himself, and I think that's so awesome. There's like pentagrams everywhere. And the first game has this really bleak, dark atmosphere that I don't think that many other games in the series really captured. Maybe 4 at parts, but 4 is also this gigantic commercial beast with skins and battle passes, right? Which doesn't make it bad, but it's a totally different era than the first game, which basically created the genre. The first game for Diablo was like one of the first RPGs on PC where when you clicked on something, you instantly attacked instead of it being turn-based. Now, they had action games that already did that, but not action and RPG at the same time. So when the first game came out, it was crazy. Then people are like, well, what's Diablo 2 going to do, you know? Diablo 2 added, I can't even remember how many classes, but they like nearly, I think they did more than doubled the amount of classes that were in the first game to like 6 or 7. Crazy. Palia is a cozy game. You farm, decorate, catch fish. Nice, bro. There's a new area, too. Blubfish, are you doing okay today? Also, if the audio is a little quiet, let me know. I'm just curious. Damn, I just ran one way thinking I could find the exit. I'm wrong, dude. I'm so wrong. Oh well, who really cares? We're getting XP. But yeah, so the second game came out with a continuation of the last story. all the characters from the first game are like now possessed by the demons, and the demons are back, right? So now it's up to a new group to put down their former saviors and defeat the devil himself. But now the devil has his brothers. The devil's got his little bros joining in on the tussle, and we spend each of the acts destroying them righteously. And it's awesome. I think it's awesome. I love the vibe. Ooh, a rune! There's so many things I need to talk about to like make the game make sense that I'm just going to gradually increase over time. I'm playing a SummonMancer, but I'm playing a particular kind of SummonMancer. I got my stats. I can literally just sit here and allocate my stats while my skeletons slaughter these little imps. Look at them go! Boom! I'm gonna teleport to him, and now they all kill him. So, you can play a lot of different types of Necromancer. There's Summoning, Poison and Bone, and Curses, and each of these have their own subtypes, right? So for Summoners, you could be Golems, you could be all Skeletons, you could be Hybrid Skeleton. Of the Skeletons, you get Warriors, Archers, and Mages. Mages are busted for making a cheap character. I say cheap, we'll get into that later. Hello, Bimbarella, good to see you again. I say cheap. That's because I mentioned this game has an economy that you can trade in, but sometimes you have to tap into your inner conservative monster and figure out, how do I budget this? How do I budget buying my gear online? You know, and then sometimes you learn how to start selling things, you know? I shit you not. The first few times I played this game, I only made one character. I stuck with that character. Last year, in the 2 seasons ago, I think it was, because I skipped the last season, it didn't look too interesting and I was really busy. Good to see you again, too. Thank you, Bimbarella. Are you having a good day today? I made 3 characters, of which 2 were pretty decent. And of those 2, one was I feel like the strongest character I've ever made in any video game without cheating. And that's just because of my own research and frugality and trading. Like, I was going hard, dude. I just kept going drops after drops, selling it, splitting up my currency, and then buying new gear to make my guys awesome. I even traded with a YouTuber for this game, because I asked, can someone break my currency for me? And then he came in, and I saw that name, and he came in with his decked-out character that I literally just watched a video on maybe the week before that season. And then I was like, yo, I love your videos. They help me so much. And he's like, haha, thanks, man. And then he helped me break my currency. And knowing that dude, that guy does not need my currency. But he's still a ruthless trader, you know? So, not ruthless, but he's really on it. People in this game are, like, so productive when it comes to video games. Ever watch Ben 10 growing up? A little bit. Damn, those minions were a little tough. Alright, now we're going to fight Andariel, the big boss herself, after my minions get rid of these guys. I'm going to teleport to her, then run away. We're going to drop some bodies on her, and then summon some revives. Oh my god! I don't even gotta do nothing. They are just murdering her. Bye, Andariel. I got an amulet and a heavy belt from that, of a higher quality. That's very nice. I did watch Ben 10 growing up a little bit. What's this amulet? I can't... I'm gonna drop the amulet, but let's check this belt. What could this be? Oh, that's very, very nice. So, I just found a belt called Gold Wrap. Okay, so this is a good item for my level, and I'm a baby right now. I'm only on the middle difficulty. I found an item that gives me extra chance to find more rare items, plus extra gold. So that's nice. I think... What does this give me here? Cold resist, minus 20. Ooh, but that's kind of tough for me to take off. What about my mercenary? You know what? My mercenary can wear it for me. My mercenary basically kills things with me, so... Maybe she can get some magic find. one of the things I really enjoy about this game is kind of figuring out what you want to do once you've come across your items. Now, I'm going to do some storage right now. I found this decent crafting base for a sword. I think, yeah, I can make a spirit in that, and it has, like, no strength requirements. That's awesome. And then I'm going to take this staff and put it here. Actually, I want to put this sword on this first tab, because this is my personal tab with items I want to craft with. This is where I put items for maybe another character if I feel like I'm going to make them. I'm going to put this belt up here, just because I might use it later. Want to know what it does? There's apparently another universe where Ben 10 gets another version of the Omnitrix called the Shakatrix. I don't know how to say that. Want to know what it does? Sure, I guess. I figured you'd just tell me. But yeah, ramble, 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 ramble. You can do a lot of interesting things. Look at my jewels. These are all my beautiful jewels and skulls I've picked up on the road. And these aren't even all of them. I have another tab specifically for the more important ones. For a game with a supposedly bleak story, I must say this is one of the most colorful games I've ever played. Which I think is great for a person like me, whose games are normally very devoid of color, yet still tapping into themes I enjoy a lot, which is the world ending and demons coming out of the ground and eating everybody. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? It's hopeless. But yeah, it's not hopeless because Giga Chad, by the way, my name for my necromancer is Gaspasser, and I named it GHAS for Ghastly Gaspasser, you know. Instead of turning him into aliens, it summons him alien waifus. I don't want to know that. And that's not real. That wouldn't be related to Ben 10, dude. They wouldn't put mating as, like, a plot line, bro. That's ridiculous. If they really did that, my mind would be like, what? Are you for real? By the way, this is Deckard Cain. Deckard Cain was in 3 out of the 4 games. He's probably the most loved character out of the entire game, besides maybe any of the player characters in Diablo himself. This guy is a lore master, and he often is like our father figure, guiding us along, congratulating us in his sweet, elderly voice. I'm just going to ask him a question so you can hear it.
You have quite a treasure there in that
Horadric Cube. Maybe it's a little quiet. If it is, I'm sorry. I can try to turn that up. To do it. How are you doing, Cerulean? Good to see you. Monster Hunter going good? I sure hope it is. But yeah, we love Deckard Cain. So, the thing we did in the first act of the game is we just did a couple of quests, like helped this rogue encampment clear out some monsters. Then we learned that there was a portal to Tristram. Tristram was the big town that's like your hub in the first game. That's interesting, but I'm not talking about Ben 10 mating. Sorry, bro. Yeah. And then we have to go rescue Decker. I can't even speak because of what I had to read just now. We have to go rescue Deckard Cain from Tristram. And Tristram was the village from the first game, where all of the player characters meet to restore their health, buy items, blah, 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 blah. So after we rescue Deckard, Deckard's like, there's a demon bitch out and she's destroyed the monastery. Please, everyone else here hates her too. Please go kill her. So then we go and kill the demon bitch. She dies, we get loot. And now Act 1 is completed. Now we'll go to Act 2. All the while this is happening, there is a second plot line only played out in the cutscenes. And before I play, I'm going to turn up the audio just a little bit. maybe this much. And if you guys have a problem with it, please tell me. I'm going to read your comments real quick, Cerulean. Hey, the Hoonton be going well, and I got gobbled like usual, but during my stream, I talked about you and the Ghoul Gang and the fun times we had. Aw. That's very sweet of you, man. Just wanted to say you're an awesome guy, and I wish you the best of luck, bud. That's so nice of you, man. You're a really nice guy. In fact, I think you're probably way nicer than I am. And, you know, I always appreciate you and the fun times we had, and hopefully can still have, you know. I really hope that Twitch has been going well for you. I miss that gang, bro. I miss, like, Sowenia and Chaos being around. I haven't seen... You know, I don't want to be too dramatic. I appreciate you a lot. You're awesome. You know. I hope that you don't get gobbled by too many more monsters. Are you playing a video game right now, King? That's what I'm curious about. Well, I'm curious about a lot of things. It's been going, Lol, and I miss our star a bit, but yeah, I messaged her a little bit ago. It's been a while, but I didn't know if she needed her space, you know, so I never really kind of knew where to go from there. But I'm going to let this cutscene play out really quickly. I love these cutscenes. They were really insanely well done for the time they came out, and they have these remastered versions in the official part of the game. We are playing a fan-made version that continuously updates the gameplay system.
We traveled east. We traveled over the mountains and into the vast deserts of broken land.
Oh look, I'm in the desert, guys. Whoa.
As the days passed, my companion told
This
me of himself
is
that he
the warrior of the last game,
warrior, and that
with a follower that chose to go with him after the warrior accidentally summoned demons and killed everybody.
Barren wasteland. How long?
Bye, Camel.
I couldn't say.
Can we get the...
And always.
Oh my god, I kicked it! I never saw that before! Bro, talking about kicking a dead horse, you go one lower, kick a dead camel.
We climbed the last bridge.
Oh, this music is just
There
so...
below us lay our destination.
It's amazing.
The shining jewel, Loot.
Vegan screeching.
With the great sea beyond.
You know, okay, I'm actually going to spoil something for you.
Perhaps
After
it was
cutscene.
the warm desert wind or the sound of the ocean.
So this is
For the first
the
time
warrior, but we're
in
wondering, like,
years,
why is he bad, you know?
I slept.
Why is his...
However,
Why is he summoning demons? He was just a warrior before, you know? Did he fail?
I beheld a vision of a great man.
And now his homie that follows him is getting a vision of the mage Talrasha. Tyrael! Tyrael was there! Who's Tyrael? He's a fucking angel! And the biggest homeboy of humanity. Literally. Because most angels don't even give a shit about us. But Tyrael does.
Within a sacred
So basically they buried this evil sorcerer in a tomb. And perhaps the warrior has come to investigate Talrasha's tomb.
Completing the prison. He instructed his
It's so vibrant for the time it came out, man. Honestly, I still like looking at this a little bit more than some modern stuff. Which is just me being a hipster, I fully admit. And the remastered cutscenes are awesome, you know. Not sure how I feel about an angel with hentai. They're not hentai tentacles, they're wings. They're wings, dude. That's how he flies. That they're not hentai tentacles. If you say so.
next morning. Over the
They are wings, okay? They flutter around when he wants to float.
I had no idea then.
We're about to hear one of the better songs in this game, even though I think all of the music in this is amazing. I'm sorry I've been talking over the cutscene. Also, I think this old friend of mine is messaging me by accident because he's probably messaging all his friends and he's trying to trade. I see what I see. Another thing that happens is that side quest with the old guy is actually another story being told between the old guy and Tyrael in an asylum. So that is actually happening after this part right now. But we will eventually come to an intersection where we are fully caught up, just to make that clear. This is Jaren. I don't know if he's a prince or like a governor, but we're going to talk to him. Greetings, I'm Jaren, blah blah blah. Time for me to go run around and kill stuff. So basically, even though we're somewhere in the Middle East now, so we've gone from traditional European setting to the Middle East, which is awesome. And we keep going further east until the third act. In the third act, I think we end up somewhere, I would say, roughly in what is the equivalent of Asia? Maybe? But then we go to hell and another, like, dream world or some shit, and then we go back to, like, a Viking setting. So, these games are awesome. There's a whole bunch of NPCs here that we could talk to. They're going to tell me what to go do. There's a lady in here. She's going to be like, there's something in the sewers. Can you please go take care of it? No one likes it. And this guy's going to be like, I lost many men down there. So we're just going to go down there. You know, skip the bullshit. Doing this quest gives me a free experience point upon completion, regardless of if I leveled up or not. We're playing as Summoner, Necromancer. Always the damn sewers. True that, bro. Always the damn sewers. Look at them go! You know what? We're even going to summon some revives here. I took a little bit of damage. Scary. Ooh, now they're putting up a fight. But I can also just chill back here and let them fight. I'll also give you guys an idea of what I'm using. So what I love about the early part of this game is that even kind of bad items to the gods are useful to a low level. And it's sort of just a game of what drops and who to give it to. But if you have enough know-how of the game, you can grind early sections to make things on a budget and not trade super early. I've only spent one currency so far, and it was like the cheapest currency you can use, but outside of jewels. And everything else has been found off the ground. So I have a rune word helmet. Rune words are combinations of runes in specific items that give you a whole list of benefits once you combine them. This gives me like +1 of my skills, and then a bunch of other nice things like damage reduction, extra mana, lightning resist. I'm gonna need that later. A little amulet, not super special, but good for where I found it. I'm like 20 levels higher and I'm still using it, so that's great. I made this little shield here. What's cute about the Necromancer is Necromancer can use traditional shields, but he also gets skulls and shrunken heads. And you can make rune words in the skulls and shrunken heads. Gotta go where the Ninja Turtles reside and train some Undermaster Splinter. I wish you the best of luck, Turtle Boy. It's always good to see you. I want to wish you the best, and I hope you have a nice, fun time with your games. And thank you for the kind words, both here and outside of this stream. I always like to think of you guys very fondly, too, and I always like to share, you know. Whisper still comes by a lot, and she tells me about you, and that's nice. By the way, Whisper and Cerulean are homies, too. Always the damn sewers, true that. A little to see that, then the gameplay lull, but I do see the effort put into this. No, I totally get it, but I love these cutscenes. And they're even better in the remastered because that's just them going at it with a full budget instead of being a smaller team like they were back then. Because this is a Blizzard game. A 4... Can I use this? Okay. Not bad. I want to use that later. For something. What? I don't know, but for something. Maybe not the most optimized piece of gear. It was a fun time that day. Yeah. BioShock is awesome. And I hope you're having fun with it, dude. Which is it, the first one? Okay, I know I'm talking your ear off after you just said you're gonna go, Mabby. But yeah, I love BioShock, dude. I mentioned this before, but there was a period in my life where I was like, video games, they don't get better than this, man. This shit's cash money. You know? I felt that way maybe about, like... And I'm talking about as a young kid who liked most video games. It was that Halo. I didn't think it could get any better than those two games. Because Halo looked great, and you got Forge mode. No, it's fine, lol. But Song was from 2. You have yet to fully play 1? That's actually very interesting. I was so hyped for 2 when it came out. Because, I was a big fan of Bioshock 1. It was like one of the first few M-rated games I played next to like Halo and Gears of War. Bioshock is so awesome. It makes me want to play it. Like, I even went to go play it briefly on my 360, but I just haven't committed to a playthrough. I actually popped in Bioshock 2 and found people playing the multiplayer for achievements. But then I didn't understand what was happening. Oh, this could have been such a great shrunken head. Oh well. But yeah, earlier I found a shrunken head that I put rune words in that give me bonuses to, like, protection. Oh, a co-rune dropped? Oh, shit, nice. I need that. Sorry, I got distracted. One day I'll stream for the plans. Yeah, I got you, bro. I'd love to see the Bioshock stream. Well, I'd love to see anything. That's my bad. Wait, I didn't mean to put that in there. Eisenhearts? Nah. Nah, we don't need Eisenhearts, bro. That's too crap. See, some things are useful to me now, but I'm now refining my taste because I've gotten a taste for stronger gear that really benefits me already. What's SOL? I think the only way to play multiplayer is do a LAN party. No, dude. I'm serious. It's peer-to-peer. So even though your connection's gonna be shit, you can still play with people. You could even technically... and there's more people playing that than there were, like, Fear multiplayer. There was no one playing Fear Xbox 360 multiplayer. I checked. But they were playing Bioshock, and that's because I don't think that they were servers made by 2K. I think they're kind of like connections shared between the two players, or the multiple players. Yeah, so you could go still play in the multiplayer. It's just that there's not really anyone playing except 4 people getting the achievements. Because, like, when I joined, everyone was, like, hacking and fixing, like, a vending machine, and it was between the 2 teams. So, like, one team would hack it, then the other team would hack it, and then they would have a bunch of points at the end of the game. Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I came in and I started shooting people. And then they promptly owned me. That wouldn't work either, but I really wish it was a different skull. I love just picking up a skull in this game, or a shrunken head, and be like, can I use this? I like to imagine the necromancer holding it up and shaking it around. Maybe fiddling with the eyelids, you know, or putting his finger in its mouth. Will you cast spells well enough for me? As you do. As you do. That's always what you do, right? You explore the shrunken head cavities with your fingers. Then you put your fingers in the neck and you start making it like a little puppet. But for real, I switched my items by accident. I also have boots that are nice, they give me resist. I have this insanely lucky ring that, normally this ring's not that great, but at the level I found it, at like a level 10, this was huge, because this helps me find rare items faster. This one must have been an airhead. And I, like, make a balloon out of it. I got a ring that gives me resist. Awesome. Resist belt. Blue gloves. These aren't that great. They just have fire resist, and I haven't felt like buying any or trading. Maybe I should trade. You know what? We could probably look for, like, an okay pair of gloves in a moment on the interweb. And then I have this unique item. This is the one item I paid for. And I paid with this little world stone shard here. So this shard is coveted as a currency. And some people will sell things dirt cheap. And sometimes the items will be enhanced, and they will be very expensive. Some people might want 100 world shards, you know? I'm just going to call them world shards to save on time. But yeah, some people want a fuck ton of them. And sometimes one rune can equal like 20 worldstone shards. But worldstone shards are one of the more common things to drop in the game, so it's actually somewhat reasonable to slowly gain currency over time. But I would say that that is like almost like getting a job in the game. Not like that it's a time consumption, but that's how you're getting your trickle of income, right? Whereas if you can start buying and selling off of the website, then you're starting to trade in stocks, dude. That's when you're like, okay, I have this item, I'm going to sit on it. It's going to be more expensive in like 2 weeks, you know, and then I'm going to sell it. And then I'm going to get my awesome necro head with the money. That came out wrong, but I'm going to get it, and it's going to be awesome. But yeah. I do like scheming about my sales. I typically undersell just so I can sell ASAP. And then I like to put anything of value on the market and have all of my slots filled up when I can. Just because you never know who's going to buy. Someone might be a high spender. Someone might be looking for your cheap item because they're starting off. So it's best to have both high and low sales and to just accrue as much wealth as possible so you can get stronger and stronger in the video game. Yay, gambling! Smart. Yes, but some people are way better at it than I am. So, like, one item might have a consistent value, but will be probably worth way more at the beginning of the season. And I think at the time I'm playing, the season's only 3 days in. So things are still a little pricey here and there. But things are also prone to be modified by players. But when they're modified, you typically can't modify them further, which can either increase or decrease their value based on the modification they get, which is random. So there's kind of like a mini part of this game where it's like finding jaw-dropping rare items and then gambling the risk of giving them something good, giving them something bad, or destroying your item. And I shuddered at the thought my first season I ever played, because I was like, why would I ever want to try that? I might break my useful item. And then, like, last time I played, I was like, alright, I'm going to corrupt 3 of these armors that took me like 10 hours to grind for. And it worked, and it paid me money in the game. Not real money. But, that was what helped me make my barbarian just be unstoppable. It was insane how strong my barbarian was. Like, I'd never made such a good character in a video game in my life.
What a waste of undead flesh.
What a waste of undead flesh. See, that's why I love Necromancer, dude. Everyone else would be like, maybe the sorcerer would be like, get what you deserve, creep. Or sorceress, sorry. And then the paladin would be like, divine justice has been served. But the Necromancer is one of the few characters in the game who seems very self-serving. And I kind of like it. Like, he has his own ulterior motives to pursue the devil. He literally goes like, never, what does he say again? Never doubt my skills, Bale. Like, what a dunk. After killing the demon of all time, you just dunk on him. So awesome. Maybe I should buy something. Would you guys be interested in watching trading, or would that be a little boring? Alright, we haven't even left the town yet. We just went to the sewers earlier. Oh, we should actually drop all our loot off. Okay. It's fun because, people will, like, drop in, and you can, like, look at their build real quick while you get the gear. Because you could just hover over a character and look at their items and see where they're at. But I'm a little babby. I only started recently. And this game's community is all over the place. I would say mostly positive, but I've had some negative experiences with, like, blowhards. Just total assholes, just corrupt on their own wealth. Like, it's getting to their head, you know? But I would say the majority of the time it has been a very positive experience. I've had a lot of people who are very nice to me that just wanted to help and gave me free items that I don't necessarily pride myself on taking, but it was free and all that. That barbarian character, though, was a beast. Like, I want to show you guys. Actually, since my game is going to end in 20 minutes, I'm going to save and exit and go out. I'm going to show you my characters. How populated is this game? I could actually check on the trade site because the trade site tracks that. One moment, please. Server error. Hurry the hell up. Maybe there's so many people on right now it's crashing the server. I don't know, dude. But when I was on the trade server today, it said 6,000 people were currently in-game. Now, granted, I've had days where I had the game running while I was working, but I didn't really play. I just traded. I haven't even begun to go into the depths of my degeneracy regarding this game. Like, there were periods where I was playing this game from, like, the moment I wake up to the moment I fell asleep, like, the next day. And I think at my most degen, I was trading with people while I was at work, right? And I'm, like, hitting people up on the website. And then they're like, I can trade, but I've got another offer, paying more, but later. And I can't be on until tomorrow again. But if you can come on in 30 minutes, I'll sell it to you now for cheaper. And I look at the clock, and it just so happens to be the time I can take break. Normally, I go later in the day. I took my break ASAP, and I drove home in 10 minutes, got on the computer, traded, but the guy teased me and was like, I'm just kidding, I sold it to another guy. And I was like, you what? And then he's like, no, I'm just kidding, here you go. And then he dropped it on the ground for me. Oh no, wait, that was a different item. But I think they still tease you regardless. That one was insane. I'll get to that item in a moment. But I literally, like, went during work to pick up a gigantic two-handed sword called the Grandfather. And it had 4 open sockets that you could put upgrades into. And that was a huge power leap for my guy. 8-bit style, turn-based game with really bloody, gross horror. You saw a game called Look Outside? That's pretty cool. Is it like a longer game? Or is it one of those shorter walking sim games? Or is there like combat in it? But yeah, the other thing... Just one more little Diablo story. Okay, I can also get on the website, too. So I can see how many people are on right now. And this is on a weekday. And granted, these are probably all dads. Right? Sorry, gamers, 1 second. Yeah, there's 6,000 people on right now. Which is insane. Oh, no! 7,000 people in-game, and 6,000 on-site. Oh, that's crazy. This is an abnormally high number. I think the most I've ever seen it was 5,000. That's insane. I'm really surprised that there's more people playing instead of less. Like, legitimately surprised. It could be that I saw one of these YouTubers that normally plays the other version of this game do an interview with the people for this game, so that was cool. Turn-based combat. Think of Earthbound gameplay, but the art is cool in a horrific way. You're making me think of Off, that like 2011 turn-based surreal RPG with like a lot of puzzle areas. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys all my different characters super fast. I like to think of this as like my trophy collection almost. This was my very first Diablo 2 character ever. My sorceress right here. She has purple armor with horns on it and a giant shield that gave her some extra powers and a staff that went with the armor. This was great. If you guys have ever seen Plant Devil around, this was my first character I ever played the game with him on. And then it went from me not knowing what I was doing and him telling me everything to like me telling him new facts that he didn't even know. And I was like a higher level and I'm like trading. At the very end of the season, I bought some really good items for him, and then we killed Diablo together, just chilling. I thought it was really wholesome. That was a great memory. That's why I just think of this game so fondly. But anyway, that was my first time ever playing. I was learning a lot. Then, yes, exactly. Although I will say he's still good. Like, he obviously knows a lot and doesn't need all of my help, but it was just crazy because both of us were learning this version, whereas he was only familiar with the old and the remastered versions. Then there was a crafting season. I made a character only with crafted items, no uniques. Crafted or found and modified. Then the third season I played, I made 3 characters, okay? I made a kind of uncharacteristic Amazon who only used summons. That was kind of hard to play, but it was a lot of fun. Then I made another Necromancer, but this Necromancer was a corpse explosion Necromancer. And I could wipe out like whole screens of enemies just by blowing up their friends' bodies. That was awesome. And I thought that was the best it was going to get for me that season. But then I made my Barbarian. And my Barbarian is, as I said, the strongest character I've ever made. He had 2 hands of weapons. One set was 2 giant great swords that he was wielding with 1 hand each. Okay, amazing. The other was 2, like, battle axes. Not battle axes, they're more like short axes. I don't know how to describe it. And he was a whirlwind barb. So he just spins on his feet, hitting the enemies. And I would just go in front of everybody and just hit all the enemies. It was awesome, and they couldn't kill me. And that was the one I traded a lot on. So I had my first character I just named Ghastly Ghoul. Then we have Pally Ghoul, Ghastly Zon Ghoul for the Amazon, Ghastly Necro, Ghastly Baba Hork. I don't know what I was thinking there. And then Gas Passer. So I would say that this is my first dumbass named character. But it's nice. So now we're going to create a new game so we can get more time from our server. Only 40 minutes? Are you shitting me? Come on, man. You don't have to do this in the newer version of the game, but these servers are busted. So, like, in order to mediate that for so many players, they have limited times. Is low-key genius, but I hate it as much as I love it. I am very glad to have both your approval and disapproval. That means a lot to me. But most people in this game have dumbass names, I swear to God. For a game with an edgy story about Satan taking over the world, there's a lot of people named, like, Bean Can and, like, Bean Fart, and just a lot of bean names. I think Cola would like a lot of the names in the game. I hope you have a wonderful evening, Cerulean, and thank you so much for stopping by. It's nice to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, bro. Now we're going out of Loot Golane, and we're just exploring the desert looking for waypoints. Waypoints are these little parts in the map that you can save that let you teleport to them later. This game is almost all RNG. There's maps with similar enemies and bosses in them that you can repeatedly grind, but they're always a different format. So that's always kind of fun about the game. There's just something new. And there's not really any set item drops that aren't for quests. So your grind is up to you, you know? You have to decide how much you want to go to the next level. So, and it can be kind of brutal making a character and not knowing what you're doing, because you only get 3 free respecs, but in order to get a non-free respec, you have to grind the 3 main bosses of the game, which can be hard if your character wasn't made correctly. And you can trade with people for those, like their currency, but it's going to be hard to get currency if it's already hard to play the game. So you can get caught in like this endless doom loop of like, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that, when you could have just watched a YouTube video that told you like what you needed and saved you that trouble. I've only used it once so far for this character. I mean, and it's okay to use them up, but you don't want to like waste your time doing that, because I've already been there when I could have been trading like a boss, you know, not to use that outdated phrase, but I literally could have been. I could have been like, no, I'll trade you this for that, you know, but instead I was like, I gotta fix my character, I gotta fix my character, I gotta fix my character, because I'm an obsessive freak nerd like that. Stupid shit that doesn't matter matters to me. So I was like, I gotta fix it. And I was like, just really obsessed with it for a while. And then I was like using the guides for the remastered game for this game and leading myself astray, thinking I could do the same things. Because even though they're virtually the same on face level, both games have a lot of different balancing choices. Because this game is being updated by fans, and Resurrected is being updated by people hired by Blizzard, you know, that probably have worked on the game before. So it's interesting to see how they both play out. I personally like this fan version. It just adds a lot more, I think, and it's really nice. Not that it super matters. But yeah, we're kind of chasing after the old dudes from before. I forgot to get rid of my scroll, dude. I'm such a freaking Baka Gaijin. I don't need that. That's unfortunate. I've also gotten to the point where I don't really want to worry about selling items for gold. Gold in this game is mostly a maintenance resource. You don't really sell gold like on the market, unlike stuff like WoW or whatever. What you do want is runes, which make these rune words, and certain runes are insanely rare. Some people have gone their whole lives never having seen certain runes in this game. Which is pretty intense to think that maybe you could just run into one, which I have before, some really rare ones, and then just immediately found a way to spin it or make a rune word with it that would really benefit me. That's why my Barbarian was so strong, just because I knew where to grind, and I was really lucky, and I traded well. And that was after having 2 other characters. He was my last of those 3 characters, not the first. I made the Necromancer, then the Amazon, then the Barbarian. But yeah, I just like putting the trading in the context of the game as the character's doing it. You know? It sounds like a punchline to something sometimes, you know? A druid meets with a barbarian to give him a great sword, you know? 2 barbarians walk into the rogue encampment. Well, okay, so I've been talking about some of the basic concepts. I've mentioned trading is very important. Yeah, druids and barbarians. There's a bunch of stuff in this game. Yes, but it's forbidden in this version of the game. However, on regular Diablo 2, you can just buy shit, and you know what? I actually did. I did one time. I spent like $15 making a character I always wanted to make. Because I've got something wrong with me, I guess. But I wanted to, so I did. And there are probably people that have bots that just run the game all day. I don't either, that's the thing. Especially considering some of them might be not as well off. Sure, you take my $1 for that rare armor, dude. You know? Go for it. But it's forbidden in this game just because this game, I guess, is trying to be like a little more competitive. Whereas, like, there are legit leaderboards in Resurrected that are open to the world that are probably run by a lot of bots. I'm not saying there aren't legit people in there. There are a ton of legit people. But at the same time, you know, you probably have a bunch of people that are just like, I'm going to bot to the top. That's the issue I have. I don't have a problem with just botting the items. But then again, that can also flood the market and cause your item to be worth a little less. But I'd say, you know, whatever. Well, that's the thing. You'd be surprised. There are some things that go for like $50 or like $100. People are nerds about this game, dude. They will tweak out over the slightest stat increase because of min-maxing and shit. So you've probably seen games like Fallout and Baldur's Gate that are RPGs that have RPG stats where you play a character. This game is all about how hard you fuck shit up. And that's like all, you know? There's obviously lots of nice detail, like the characters talking, the voice acting, the cutscenes, but the objective of the game is to be as badass as possible. Like, straight up. You want to have, like, a cool, functional character with awesome gear that can take on any of the game's content. and higher difficulties with teammates. Because grinding with teammates opens up even more possibilities, because that means higher chances for better loot. You're somewhat of a, you're like a, you're a cross between a demon slayer and a treasure hunter. And it's a great vibe. I really, really, really like it. And, like, there are games that are like this. Like, I would say Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance takes a lot from this game, but makes it a little bit more accessible, not as punishing, you know? At the trade-off of, like, not a huge community in the long run because of online. But, you know, if people pick up the game, it's a fun-ass game. I really like Dark Alliance so far. Hey, Perry, good to see you. How you doing, boo-boo?
I am overburdened.
I am overburdened. Shut the hell up. Fine, we'll go back to base. Hello, Perry. Reminds me of people who are selling their Fortnite accounts. You know, I could probably see... I don't know if I could see people selling accounts, but maybe I could. But then again, people also want that prestige. And they're like, no, I'm that account. I'm the #1 leaderboard guy, you know. People are obsessive about these games. Particularly 2. There are obsessive players for 3 and 4. But it is like a whole nother level with 2. Because I haven't even gotten to some of the more diabolical shit. People will, like, scam each other in-game, right? So, with the rise of a real economy came the rise of real scammers. But they only scam in-game. Yeah, Necromancer, dude. I'll get into it in a moment. I'm playing a Skelly Necro. So there are videos that are like from years ago that are like how to scam in Diablo 2. So what you do is you take a quest item that looks like a rare item. They have the literal same graphic, right? But you have to have the item in the first place. But once you get that rare item, you can keep like faking it, right? And then they'll be like, here's my item, and then you're like, here's mine. Oh wait, I accidentally picked it up. And then you drop the quest item. They're like, thanks. You run over, pick the item up. Before they realize they have the item gone, then they go like, hey, what the hell are you doing? And then you leave. Bye, sucker. Which, I've never done that. I saw that YouTube video and I was so angry. I was like, you motherfucker. You son of a bitch. But I can't help but admit how funny it was, and he goes and justifies it in the comments. If you go and look in the comments, there's some people that are like, I remember I scammed this one guy this one time. But then there are other people that are like, you're an evil bastard, how dare you, people play this game for fun and you ruin it, which I kind of agree with that a little bit. But, you know, then he would comment, hey, you know, when the season was over, I would give all of my stuff to the non-seasonal players, right? So when you leave the season, you go to a regular world where all the normal players are, I guess, that aren't evil. And then you can just drop miracle items. They might be a dad that only plays like 2 hours a week. And since there's nothing going on in non-seasonal, you can just play it out with whatever pace and still have online. So then he said he would go back and give those rare-ass items to the non-seasonal players when he was out. But I don't think that really excuses it. In Habbo Hotel, wowie, okay. How about this? We'll open up. I pretended to be a girl in Swator for rare-ass cosmetics. I'm not even going to lie. That shit was fire. I finally got it. It was so worth it. But I didn't really go much worse than that. I never scammed anyone. I never was like, here's this fake thing, except for my personality, maybe. And then just yank the carpet out from under them. Some of them probably still think I was a woman, even after all these years. L-scam. Thanks, Silix. I appreciate it. Good to see you again. I'm standing here doing a lot of talking. Sorry, guys. Tell us about, if you're willing to, tell us about your Habbo scams. I'm very curious. Lady L. And I don't hate scammers like think they should die like I hate some other kind of people, but I really don't like them. I've had some trouble with scammers. I understand you gotta do what you gotta do, but goddamn, I wish that they didn't have to do it to me, you know? Like,
I can't carry
I just hate disingenuous shit. I didn't even go back and do what I needed to do. I need to put my stuff in the treasure chest. I'm doing good, Lady L. Thank you for stopping by. How are you doing? Oh, I could actually use that right now. I'm just going to drop this shitty stealth charm and... Sorry, strength charm. And then we're going to put our rune away. We need to take everything out of my Horodric cube. Now, I need to be careful. The last time I was playing this, for some reason, it was crashing my game when I tried to use, like, hotkeys to put stuff in the tabs. Some scammers just do it for the thrill of it. Yes, those guys, I don't really have much pity for. Well, 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 how are you? I'm good, just chilling on a chill game after a long day. How about you? Well, well, well. Well, well, well. I also have this armor I want to craft with later. I want to move this belt around. I don't know if I really want to keep that belt anymore. Is it? Yeah, that's just 2 stats, bro. I need to find something better fast. I have 4 world stone shards. I'm like basically rich, dude. I love this flute right here. So you'd run games of Falling Fernie, charge people coins if they get eliminated, then boot them. Wow. So what? What was Falling Fernie? Was that like... Was that something people normally gambled on? I've heard about, like, in RuneScape, people would gamble on duels. It's like musical chairs. You charge people to play musical chairs? Oh my god, Perry. I hope you've seen The Lord's Light since then. Oh. I'm imagining you repenting at Mass for your Habbo crimes. Jesus died so he could forgive me for stealing from people in Habbo. Yeah, I was an atheist that led me down a dark path of stealing from people. Ooh! Is this any good? Nah. That's bad. But yeah, I'm playing a Necromancer with Skellies, and the Skellies are mages. And they shoot literally all elemental types that aren't magic damage. Because magic damage is a specific one in this game. But they shoot lightning, cold, fire, and poison. Look at them! If I were to fully invest in Skellies, I could have so many more, but I think I'm only going to use the mages. And then these things called revives. Me too, Perry. Well, I can deal with having a few as long as they're very quality and will talk to me, you know? Like, that's the thing. I've never needed to be popular. I've just needed someone to be there for me. Sounds like a lot of work, to be honest. Yeah. That too. Sometimes I'm just like, man, I love my own time. I love my own time, dude. But at the same time, it's like the few times I would be willing to share it, it's like, I can't find anyone that I would like to IRL with. And it's not that I'm picky. I just have something wrong with my brain where I don't feel much joy anymore. I don't know what it is, but yeah. I feel that joy with video games. Real. And junk food and meeting interesting people online, I guess. But I have shaken that up recently by throwing a job in the mix. And that makes me feel significantly better about myself. Because when I was not doing the job part, and I was only doing the other parts, I felt very bad about myself. Not gonna lie. And I still feel bad. But significantly less bad. Which is a start, you know? Not that a job is the end-all be-all, right? That's not at all what I want to get at. But that was one of the things I wanted to do. I don't want to be a fucking neat, you know, like, with no riz, you know? Like, I just want to be a respectable human being. Which, I don't think not having a job should be a reason people judge you. But, like, I'm already imperfect as it is. I would like to have the job to bolster that, you know? Yeah, I know they do, and that's the thing. And it's in addition to, like, maybe, I don't want to say romantic, but in that vein, right? Like, who wants to go over to someone's house with their parents there, you know? Like, I couldn't do that. So I feel like a loser because I'm not going anywhere, I'm not seeing anybody, I barely have any friends, you know? That really I was down for a big period of my life. Yeah, dude. Seriously. And I get it, there's other places to go, but it's not always convenient, you know? And then like, when you're like, oh, well, I can only bang you if you're at my mom's house. And they're sleeping, by the way. Shh. You know, like, I want to move out so bad, but can't. I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. Rent these days is expensive in general. I can only imagine how crazy it is in London, you know? Alright, more levels. But yeah, not that it's impossible. It's just frustrating to, you know... And that's not a human need, but... I don't know, it's fun and it makes you feel better about yourself. I don't know what else to say, really. At least most of the time, you know? If you're doing something you don't normally want to do in order to have it, it's not as fun. And it doesn't make you feel good. It makes you feel bad, you know? And it should only feel good and only be fun. I'm really banking on hooking up at Pride. It's my one and only chance. No, dude, it's not your only chance, man. It's not your only chance, Perry. Don't say that. I know you're a Rizzalicious kind of guy, dude. It's not the only time. You know? I'm sure, dude. People would love to. It's just a matter of circumstances, you know? It's my one and only chance. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I haven't been doing any of the quests. I've just been running through the map, unlocking the waypoints, by the way. See, this is why I love this game. I can just, like, kind of turn my brain off. And just look at the pretty colors, you know. At the end of the day, I'm talking about all these stat things, but I made a joke to the person who introduced me to this game, and I was like, you know, it's kind of like an adult cookie clicker, you know? Albeit a little more, way more advanced, and nerdy than just cookie clicker. But, in essence... you're achieving the same goal of clicking your mouse button a lot and then getting huge surges of dopamine. They just happen in different ways, you know? My pickup lines are something like, want a cigarette? I was watching this video from a comedian I really like, and he was talking about this time he had, Perry, I'm worse. Nah, dude, come on. You guys aren't Rizzless. Come on, guys. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. We all got Riz, and we just don't know it, okay? Someone on YouTube made the argument that all RPGs are cookie clickers. I don't know about that. All RPGs? So the prime prerogative of this game is to click things because that's how they die. Right? I guess you could say that because you can click a lot of things in video games. But... in something like Fallout, you're sort of walking around admiring your whole world around you, right? In Diablo, the world appreciation is there, but you're really there to, like, blow shit up, you know? Last time I just straight up asked a stranger at the Metal Club if they had something to drink at theirs. That's not bad. You're being forward, you know? That's not bad. And it worked, so, yeah. You're being forward. I could never imagine, to be fair, the context is different as just slightly different as a cis male. Especially if I were to ask, like, a woman, like, do you got drinks at your place? And we can go, like, drink them, like, by ourselves. You know, that might be obnoxious, you know? That might be a little obnoxious on my part. I should try it. Let's go try it, guys. I'll report back to you on that. I think that's something that would work for you, but I don't think it would work for me. Imagine just a gigantic, like, freakishly tall person being like, yeah, you got drinks at your place, dude? Can we, like, drink them in private and, like, watch Interview with the Vampire? Can you rent it, by the way? Because I don't have it. But I want to watch it. Like, what if I want to watch Alien and you're like, no. No, we're going to watch the vampire movie. I'd take you homie if I had a home, so never mind. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. I would also have to be in London, but I can start looking at flight prices. That'd be nice. I like to dream. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, come on, guys. Pick yourselves up by your bootstraps. Perry, you could totally get laid at Pride. But don't say it's the last time, man. Have some more faith in yourself. You guys are making me feel so much better. Because today I was, like, so brain dead at work. I was like, I hate this. I hate this. Periodically throughout the day, I hate this. Let me go. And then I didn't even want to stream today. I was like, this is not the first time I've said this, but I was like, I kind of want to lay down, but then I was like, I should get on. It'd be nice. And you know what? It is. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It's nice to go through all these topics while destroying shit. There was something I wanted to say. God damn it. I'd have to tell my parents first. Mom, Dad, can I have premarital sex at Pride? Perry, what are you talking about? I feel like my odds aren't bad at Pride considering I'd be one of the only straight guys there. Okay, well that depends on what you're trying to get, you know? Like, it depends on your definition of straight. Because there are definitely people into that. You're straight. Well, so he says. I've never specifically doubted him. I remember one time he was talking about, like, it's been a while, and I was like, just get it, just try to find a fanboy on Grindr, bro. Just try being gay. It's so much easier. You're way more appealing to people when you're gay, like, to other men anyway. I am shocked at how much, attention I get from men on Grindr specifically. I never get that kind of attention from women. Never, ever, 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 ever get any kind of approach from women like that. Maybe it's just how gay culture is. I don't know. Because I'm not super integrated with LGBT people. I just sort of go over there. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely I am. Now, where am I going? I just sort of walked into this dungeon. I've just been doing random-ass dungeons. I don't even need to be here. Oh, God. But you know what? That's what's nice about conversations. Yes, yes. I try to be better than that. You know, I try to be... Only man I'd go with is Jensen Ackles. He aged like 5 more. I don't know that person. But interesting that you have an answer. Here there's lots of... Yes, but there are also lots of... There's all kinds of people on Grindr. Literally. It's hard to talk about without getting too explicit. But, yeah. Guy from Supernatural, I think, right, Silix? Yeah, GhostGen is asking if that's a guy from Supernatural, Silix. Sorry. Yes, GhostGen. Oh, that's so awesome. Look at them. Between two worlds. The reality chat and the YouTube chat. Is there an exit I missed here somewhere? Like another part of the map that I foolishly overlooked? Dean. Oh, I see. Actually, I don't. Because I keep forgetting which one's Dean and which one's the other brother. Dean's one of the main characters, right? Box Vox Luna, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. Second timer, thank you. You know, let's go back to Far Oasis and look for the maggot lair, because that's where we need to go and we haven't been yet. Oh, you know what? We gotta do this fast, because I think we only have like 15 minutes before this map goes away and we have to retry. How's it going? It's going good. 13 minutes. Okay, guys, come on. Let's speedrun the maggot lair real quick. Good thing I got all those waypoints, though. Oh, I did go to the maggot lair. Did I already kill the maggot queen? I don't think I did. No, I don't think... Yeah, no, we didn't. Gotcha. Oh, you know what? It must have been that I had all my shit on me, but then I decided to go back, and then I forgot where I was going, because I was so enraptured in the conversation. That's okay. I was just so absent-mindedly playing the game that I was just, like, completing everything else besides what I need to do. Which is, like, totally fine. I would much rather talk to you guys than ignore you for the game. Maybe if you're, like, a try-hard Diablo player, that would be annoying. You're like, dude, just finish everything. I probably play in a way that annoys people. Some people know this game like the back of their hand and how to level quick and skip everything. I like to do all the quests so that I don't worry about my character not being min-maxed, because you get free stats from quests. So I actually take a little extra time to do them so I can get my shit for free. Just to get any advantage I can going into the harder difficulties. Damn! These hoes slapping me hard, bro. Shit. Damn! You know what? We don't have time. We gotta teleport, dude. Oh god, I keep forgetting. These are lightning beetles, and lightning beetles could kill me. Oh god. Get out of here! What is it? Chest. I guess I'll click on that. Ow! Not the way I need to go. We've got, I don't know, like 8 minutes, I'm gonna guess. Hello, Void. Good to see you again. How are you doing? Thank you very much for stopping by. Eek! There's the exit. Go down the hole of the maggot lair. Go into the maggot hole. Oh! I'm just kind of like trying to figure out how to get out of here as quickly as possible before the time runs out. You know what? Whatever. Let's just chill. I think we have time. Okay. That's what I love about playing the Necromancer is you can just like, bye. My skeletons will take care of this for me. I don't have time for the maggots. I'm gonna let my skeleton mages handle that. I leveled up. Oh my god. I didn't even spend my XP. We'll spend the XP in a moment. Ideally, I would never hit anything, but I keep accidentally using my wand, which literally does no damage when you hit something with it physically. Get out of my way! Oh my god. Bro, these bugs. I'm just going for it. I need a hero! It's not that serious, though. I just want to get this quest done before the time runs out. There she is! There's the maggot queen! Woo-woo! We did it! I need to grab this item and put it in the cube. And they're going to kill the maggot queen like this. Bye-bye. Stupid maggot! Alright, now let's go back. Spend our points. Quit the game. Make another one. There's 2 people in line in front of me! Oh, come on, dude. I want to go back to the dopamine. Come on, dude. I don't want to go back to the real world. Thank you. 3 hours. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now that we've done that, let's go back to some of you guys. Box, what do you? Which of those 3 would you prefer right now, Box, Vox, Luna? Thank you for liking, Void. I have 3 more days of school left. Good luck with that, Void. I hope that it goes well for you. Oh, that wasn't even me at my full power. That wasn't even me at full power level, dude. I didn't have my revives out, but I could have. I could have had my revives out. Why did I open a teleport next to the waypoint? I didn't need to do that. Who really cares, I guess. What am I doing? I need to use the treasure chest, the stash, to put my stuff away. I have a lot of money. I have like 5 world stone shards. I'm basically rich, guys. So let's see if we can do like a tiny little trade. Which name is preferred out of the 3 in your name? Yeah. That's what I meant to say earlier. Do you prefer Box, Vox, or Luna? That's what I wanted to get at. My apologies if there was confusion. Okay, now I'm going to search up this item, Tear Haunch. It's like a low-level pair of boots that give you resistances. Okay, I'll stick with Box, because that's first. But if you have anything else, you let me know. Alright, tier haunches. 1 World Stone Shard, 28 minutes ago. Yep. Hi. Actually, let's be really informal. Hey, brah, I would like to buy yo tier haunch for 1 World Stone Shard. Smiley face with the nose on it. Alright. And this is not a high-risk trade at all. This is a very low-tier trade. This guy's probably just trying to get whatever he can get. That's okay. GG, ever played WoW? Or anyone really? I played a little bit of WoW, but as I mentioned, I was way more of a SWTOR player. SWTOR was just Star Wars WoW. I was really big into PvP, but I was on an RP server, so it didn't really matter. Like, people knew me from playing with me, but no one was going to cop up and say that they were the best, except for people that no one on the server liked. I was pretty well known. Not that my server status matters 13 years later. Old school Diablo, you know it. This is a fan-modded project. But yes, it's old school. It's beautiful. I know, right? I love how this game looks, personally. I remember this one time, I was at a friend's house in middle school, and his dad was playing Diablo 2 on a laptop, and I remember just seeing his assassin character with his light traps. And the lightning in this game kind of arcs really weird, and it's really bright. So you see these giant, like, zigzags killing enemies, and they're exploding and dropping gold, right? I just remember seeing this game for the first time. Even though I had played Halo 3, I remember looking at this game and being like, whoa, that looks, like, intense. Like, what's going on there? I want to know, but I didn't really figure out until later, because I wasn't a PC gamer until later. That was when I was, like, brand new to Xbox Live, dude. I had just started playing Halo 3. Oh my god, that was the best. Getting a 360 for the first time in Halo 3, dude, that was a amazing gamer experience. Not to throw around the word gamer so flippantly, please don't think of me as an incel. It's a perfect balance of light and dark. I love it! And the thing is, it's actually really colorful, too. I need to, oh, the guy messaged me. I'm on Nightmare right now. Can you join me? Sorry for trouble. Gas 8. That's my password. Sorry, I almost missed the guy's comment. I should probably go back to map 1 or act 1. And he's coming. Awesome. We're going to see your first little trade, guys. Time for a Diablo trade. So, you don't want to cause mistrust. You want to drop the item away from them and step away from it, right? So that you both can pick it up. Thanks for trading. Good luck, have fun, smiley face. Hee hee. Love Sork, by the way. Let's see if we can quickly look at her, damn it, what's the button again? Shit, I don't remember. I really don't. Oh, man. Well, have fun. So this person, it's just the easiest class top start. Fair. I love her, though. Aw, it's okay. Yeah. See what I mean? Some people are, like, bound by obligation for their eternal grind. And I can put these on right now. That is so nice. And then I can... Oh, that is so much cold resist for my... I almost said survivor, for my mercenary. Bring us back to experiencing these games for the first time. I hope I can do that for you. So some of the items are having their descriptions blocked by this chat box. I'm going to put it to the left over here, maybe. And then what does it look like normally? I think that's doable. So we're going to go back into the inventory here. Yeah, it's worth it. But I'm actually going to keep the other boots on my mercenary, right? Because that cold resist is more important than the poison resist. Whereas this would be losing 22 points of cold resist, and we really need all the resists we can get. because each time you go up in difficulty, there's a debuff to your resists. So you actually have to stack more than the base amount of resists if you want to take as little damage as possible. And that might not sound like a big deal. It might sound like min-maxing, but trust me, later when you get introduced to certain enemies, you'll go through maybe a chunk of the game totally fine, and then all of a sudden there's the one enemy type of that map that just ruins your day. And it's best to just have your resistances up. An example is of Act 3. There are these angel ghosts that shoot lightning beams at you, and multiple ones can hit you at the same time. They do massive damage. And I've just instantly been killed by them on a couple of occasions, like with poor gear. So you just really want to always focus on getting more defensively stacked. You can sacrifice damage a little bit, but you really want to stack your resistances above all. Otherwise, you're going to start feeling the pain, dude.
Hi there.
And this is my first character. I think I entered into Nightmare without dying yet. Usually I'll have like one death that was a stupid mistake because I wasn't paying attention. But I also didn't have all these AI body blocking me all the time from all damage. So I would say this is the easiest it's ever been for me in the game, just gameplay wise. Because I can just literally let my skeletons do everything for me. It's really nice. Okay, give the scroll to Cain. Good thing I actually opened this portal earlier. I need to give the scroll to Cain so it stops taking up my inventory space.
You have quite a
I hope I can do my best. By the way, are you doing okay, Pale Unicorn? It's a perfect balance of light and dark. I really love this game's usage. Like, the city itself is not overblown in contrast and color. But the skeletons right here are like a shining silver white, and they have these little glowing magical pom-poms. And my mercenaries radiating some kind of fire-looking aura, you know. One thing that I really appreciate what they were doing at the time is these characters, if you look really closely, you can see that parts of their model are occasionally like missing color. Like, they optimized this game so hard so that it could run on any systems. But this game used to only run like 20 frames. The thing is, it didn't really matter because it was animated for that. But this fan patch made it so that it can run at a variety of frames and that the animations are smoother. And that more of them play out with higher frame rates. So that's very nice. I appreciate that you can play the game in a modern way but still have the old graphics. Just on a modern resolution. It's very nice. Cain, why the hell didn't you take my scroll, bro? You're pissing me off, Cain. I need you to take this shit now.
Greetings.
Did you take the scroll yet? Bro. Who wants the scroll? Do I ask Drognan to get rid of the scroll? Do I even need the scroll?
I've heard I've been researching.
Why am I holding on to it? Did I get rid of it? Do I? I don't think I need it. Yeah, I don't need the scroll anymore. Fuck that stupid ass scroll. So now we need to go find the Valley of the Snakes? Was it? Or is it the Valley of Serpents? I can't remember. There's some zombies. I'm going to kill them for XP. One of them dropped a jewel. You also may not know, because I just haven't talked about it. I'm using a loot filter right now. And a loot filter, like, shortens the names of everything, because when you have hundreds of greater healing potions on the floor and you try to look at what items on the ground, it can very easily become a game of hide and seek. Hide and loot, if you will. But with a loot filter, it makes it a lot more bearable by removing certain items that are worthless from the search, and by shortening the names of the majority of the objects in the game, which is very nice. They did not have that in OG Diablo, and I don't think you could mod it while being on an official server, so I need to check this scale mail. Is this good enough for my mercenary? It is not. And I don't care about that full helm. Thank you so much for your time tonight, guys. I super appreciate you being here. I really want to see if I can just quickly get to the Arcane Sanctuary. Because, that's like one of the last few areas in this game, or in this map. Because a lot of this is just deserts and tombs, which I like, personally. But my favorite parts are probably the Arcane Sanctuary. The Arcane Sanctuary is somewhere in between worlds, and it's literally like a wizard. How do I describe it? It's like a wizard hideout in space. And I think it's pretty, yeah. And the floor, it's very dreamlike. And the floors all look like they're made out of some kind of marble. It's really hard to figure out how to describe it. I forgot to get the Far Oasis waypoint. This is a new map, actually. But it's really cool. And I want to get there before, like, I quit. So, in the first act of the game, we go back and kill the archer from the first game. And then in this area, we need to go through the sorcerer from the last game so that we can find that tomb with the mummy guy in it that we saw in the cutscene in the beginning. And I've only been on for about an hour 30, and we're pretty much, like, halfway through once I finish this quest I'm on right now. But then the latter parts of this act are pretty quick. But yeah, you have to go do a big fetch quest. You have to combine the fetch quest items to make a special MacGuffin. And then the MacGuffin opens the tomb later, but you have to find the tomb first. So there's a lot of MacGuffins in the game. Lots of magical MacGuffins for you to gawk at and be like, ooh, in what way does this explode the demons? You know? A lot of the game is MacGuffins. And to some people, this might not sound like a fun game just because it's like, all you do is kill things. What about the talking? What about the RPG part? It's weird because I would say that this is very loosely using the term RPG because it's an RPG in the mechanical sense where you're a super stat nerd, but you don't really role-play your character. You role-play the... I guess it's going to sound super edgy. You roleplay the violence. You want to be good at roleplaying that part. And you roleplay it effectively by getting better at it and by getting better stats. You know? You are, in essence, roleplaying the heroic deeds exclusively and banishing the demons from this realm. And, you know, it's cool to do it in style and have all these pretty colors radiating from your character and all these different particle effects going all over the screen, and the demons start running away from you and blowing up, you know? It's a very simple premise with a lot going into it in the background. Because as I said, it can be a little difficult if you don't know what's going on. But boy, when you do know what's going on, it's great. I'm in the Far Oasis. What am I missing here? I want to find... I think I went backwards from where I wanted to be. Did I? I need to double check the waypoints. There are also these things called shrines that are laid about. Yeah, I went the wrong way. Now I'm going the right way, guys. Sorry. Shrines are littered around the map. They give you a variety of buffs, or sometimes they restore your mana, drop you jewels, maybe. Some of them can be harmful to you, but they usually harm enemies near you. I would say that I don't really use those, though, if I can help it, because otherwise it's just kind of wasteful for your health. In the first game, they were a little more of a gamble, because they were about half the time as good as they were bad. But in this game, they're more of like either something that you kind of have to hope you come across for like maybe a boost in progress, or something you can kind of abuse if you know where to look and level up faster. But I haven't been doing that. And I say abuse like it's bad. I don't mean it like that. I just mean it leads to effective gameplay. And so, what item is this? the MacGuffin we're trying to get. We're trying to get the Staff of Kings, but the Staff of Kings has been broken up into several parts, all of which have been scattered around the desert to different layers. I believe the Maggot Queen had the staff, and now we're going to the Snake People to get the amulet, which needs to be combined with the staff. It's just a bunch of MacGuffining, you know? It's just a bunch of MacGuffining. But I will do all the MacGuffining this game wants me to do, and all of the fetch quests, because I like it, you know? I really, really, really like just playing the game. I do not mean to hit these snakes, though. Hi, Bun. Welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you stop by. Ow. You know what? I love I just stood there and took a hit. And then my skeletons are like,
No, master. Please, let me take care of him for you. He will pay for this treacherous insult.
I'm like, yeah, skeleton man, please do my deeds. Look at them go, dude. You know what? I'm gonna summon some revives, too. Based on their own snake people. Which class is my least favorite? I actually think every class has something really cool to provide. The only one I have not really played is the Druid. I'm not a furry. So, Druid doesn't really speak to me. Like, on a personal level. But I would probably play them. So you don't need the game to RP for you when you have silly voices. Exactly, I know. You can do it by yourself. You don't need people on a stream to listen to you. You know? You could just talk to yourself. You could just talk to yourself while you kill all the monsters. That's fun, right? And totally not corny. But, no lie, it's fun, you know. I really love some of the dialogue that the main player characters have. They all have a different vibe, right? I talked about it earlier. The Paladin is, like, all about vengeance and justice. Necromancer's very self-interested and a little schemy. Sorceress is knowledgeable, but a little sassy. We kind of think alike in RP. Hell yeah, bro. Do we? I'm just gonna say we do. Look at them go. But yeah, also imagine, like, your dead homie gets revived to fight against you. That's what I'm doing to these idiot snakes right now. Take that, snake people. Not to be snakeist. Not to be snakeist or anything. That was super low effort. I'm sorry. Come on, skellies, please kill the snakes. That was super low budge. Let's put it like that. Alright. Like talking to yourself and doing the voices and giving NPCs a life. Yeah, that's nice. Sometimes, like, it's less of me role-playing a character, and sometimes, like, I'll look at my character, what's their name, and then I'll see something stupid they're doing, and I'll be like, Wendy, what the hell? Wendy, what's wrong with you? Why did you run into the triple Cyclops stack mob and die instantly? Also, I'm so used to the names being a little more exotic than Wendy, because I've had barbarians, these rogues, mages. I've had all of the different companion types. Normally their names are fantasy related. I've never seen the name Wendy. I like how banal it is. How simple the epic rogue archer name is. I'm Wendy. Bloop, 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 bloop. Like talking to yourself and doing the voices. Yes, I like doing that a lot. What's with these feral reptiles? First we got Monty, now we gotta deal with these things. You right, Silix, you right. Sorry if I've missed some of your comments, by the way. You're not dedicated. Wait, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I am not on Twitch, by the way. You are dedicated, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Where, oh, where is the exit? Oh, it seems like I must have passed the exit earlier and I didn't notice. Hee hee. I was doing what I did before, which was forget that I'm doing the quest. And I was just focused on my snake aside. But Boom, pull it back around. But yeah, these snakes, they deserve it. Let's just put it at that. Bye-bye, primordial ones. Now we have the Amulet of the Viper. So now we can make the Staff of Kings. Awesome. Now we need to go through the Arcane Sanctuary after exploring the harem and the palace. And I don't mean a harem like an anime waifu. I mean in the traditional historical sense, like those existed. You know? And it's not a pretty sight in there. I'm just going to be straightforward with you guys.
The sun again shines on Loot.
And so he's basically going to tell us here, look, I haven't told the people yet, but we had a demon outbreak under my palace. And we're all out here because we can't go back in the palace. Can you imagine your own governments trying to hide up the fact that they've been kicked out of their own Pentagon? So he's like, yeah, can you help us out here? It's a slaughter in there. You know, we need somebody, we need the professionals to go in. See, to the harem. So we run in, looks pretty normal. I love how this looks, by the way. This is such a cool design with all these carpets. Oh no, my revives are dying. Damn. Thank you for the butterfly necktie, Reds. Tired boy, hi Shy Bunny, good to see you. You doing okay today, guys? This is also one of the best songs in the game, no lie. I bet they are, dude. I'm turning the music up a little bit more. If it's too loud, please let me know. Like if it's overpowering my voice or something. I just don't want the audio to sound stupid. So we go further in and we see bodies, right? The guards are lying around, which they do have details in the map. It's not just maps that you gloss over. They have the guards and the women. Everyone in here was murdered. Totally decimated, dude. Oh, I love... This is one of the few songs that has vocals in it. And I'm fairly certain it's either some language I don't know, or it could entirely be like a fantasy version of some Middle Eastern language in the game. Royalty are reptilians. Oh, we got 2 runes in a row. Not like they were super expensive, but nice. I mean, I believe in the reptilians too. But no, the demons are down here. And another aspect of this game I like is it reminds me a little bit of Berserk. You know, fantasy setting, grounded somewhat in a historical reality, but then entirely contorted by the sudden presence of demons, you know? That's something I really like. That's another reason why, well, actually Dark Souls came first. I got into Dark Souls, then I was like, what influenced Dark Souls on Google? Because I was like, this thematically is like crack cocaine to me, like, I need more. And then I was like, oh, Berserk, okay. Darkest time of my life, found the most awesome manga and anime ever. I was like, oh my god, I have something to take my mind off of the awful shit I'm going through right now. You know? I cannot begin to express how much I love Berserk. Not that it saved me or anything, but it's nice to have something to take your mind off of shit when you're, like, massively stressed out, you know? And then I continued playing Dark Souls in Duranki. I feel like I've heard it, but I can't tell you specifically what it is, so I'm not sure I know. It sounds familiar. I'm just going to Google it real quick. Was that his side project before he died? I remember this coming out, I think, but I don't think I read it. I just fucking loved the art. Berserk? I love the artwork in Berserk too. Duranki looks really cool. I was very... Okay, even though it came out and I was excited to see what it was about, because he said he was releasing another manga. This was back when he was alive, by the way. Rest in peace. I was also kind of like, well, what about Berserk? What about Berserk? Like, can we please get some more of that too? Like, I don't want to be an annoying fan, but it had kind of been in limbo for a while when I had finally caught up. So I was like, can we get some more? And then we did. I mean, it was in the period of getting more, but then I was like, at the same time, can we focus? Then he died. I was like, what? I cannot begin to express. Most of the time you hear about celebrity deaths, and you're like, well, that's fucked up. You know, a huge shame. They contributed to something in my life that I hold to some high regard, right? Sometimes they're the lizard people celebrities, but, you know, I'm trying not to be too mean. Also, Arcane Sanctuary.
I wish I had time to study this.
I wish I had time to study this place. I wish I had enough time to live here forever. Wouldn't you guys like to just chill out in space with me? Doesn't that sound kind of tight? And look, I'm not dying of oxygen deprivation. My skellies are totally fine. This is awesome. The only thing that sucks is all the demons and the traps lying around. But this would be a great place to hang out. Can you imagine a chill sesh in the Arcane Sanctuary? Look at this place. It's gorgeous. Well, it might be harder to see the stars on y'all's screen. I'm very sorry about that because sometimes little aspects of the video can sort of get blurred out when it's shrunken like this. I'm too clumsy. I'm falling into the void. I knew I was sick for years, so I wasn't surprised, but still was kind of sad. I didn't know he was sick as much. I was just like more of a fan of a couple of years, right? I wasn't like as aware of his history yet. And then he died. I was like, what? And I don't want to, I really, you know, was bummed out about it because obviously what would happen to the series? Now they're going on with it and they're having other people do it. And I'm like, well, I'm glad we got some closure, you know. But it sucks. Like, what about Duranki? Is anyone going and finishing that? I don't think so. Did he even have notes for that? That's so sad, you know? Anyway, I'm not trying to depress anybody. I'm just saying, you know? It's just fucking sad, dude. Normally, like, I can pretty easily handle... I remember the ride to my friend's house, and that was, like, all we could talk about. And it was, like, a dour smoke sesh, bro. That was so sad. Because I had also contributed to my friend getting into it. He had me and his other friend telling him to read it, so he finally did. And I remember when my boy first started reading Berserk with me, I was like, what? You read it too? Because normally he's like a Shonen One Piece guy, which is not bad. I just don't really watch that stuff. Just because time commitment and not really my thing, but can be fun, you know. Hey, Miss Mina, by the way, I am so sorry. I hope you're having a lovely evening. You doing okay? Hola, Shinori mi amigazo. Hope you're having a great day. Howdy. Howdy, partners. Oh, I want to summon my revives. See how just chill I can be? With all my other characters, I'm like running through here and I'm trying to think of where to go. By the way, this... Oh, we can skip all of this! Awesome. This is the sorcerer from the first game. And I'm just going to try to chill, let my minions kill him. Yeah, look at that. Get totally annihilated! I totally just turned him into a bunch of ice cubes. So what's nice is if you deal massive damage with freezing attacks, the enemy will like freeze and shatter. So I just destroyed the character I played from the first game, and now I'm putting him in my lemonade. In my necro lemonade. Just got back from the Cheesecake Factory? Hell yeah, bro. Dude, how did it go? Did you get some tasty stuff? No, man, I'm too clumsy. Well, imagine if you didn't fall. Wouldn't that still be chill, though? And see, that normally takes longer, but I can teleport all over the place. And normally you have to figure out where it is amongst all that. Oh, wait, we are gonna go back, though, because I somehow forgot to get the waypoint. So we are gonna spend a little bit more time here, but that's okay. We can kill things, get XP, chat. You know? Oh, hello, Ghost Gen. Thank you for the YouTube comment. I appreciate that. Ta. Hello, Sharky Girl. And Miss Mina, are you doing okay today? Hope you're having a lovely evening. Normally, there's 4 branches of these paths, and each path is, like, slightly different. And you don't have to go through them all, but if you do, you can get more chests and loot, stuff like that. I don't really care about that right now. I just want to continue and get to the next chapter before we go. So guys, what we're going to do is, I didn't think we'd have this crazy progress. I thought we were going to take some time, considering I was so mindlessly doing some of the other stuff in the game. But we actually made a lot of progress there, and we basically cut down like 15 minutes to like 2, 3 maybe. So we're just gonna check for the true sign. The sign of the Tomb of Tal Rasha is 2 V's and a little triangle pointing upwards. So there are these tombs here that have different sigils on them. We want to find the matching one and then go in there. Which, by the way, I have a really edgy item called the Suicide Branch. This thing is helping me out a lot for the time I'm using it. All I need, though, is to find a Dole rune, and then I'm going to switch it out to a crafted wand. Which, yes, I'm like an evil Harry Potter. I'm crafting my own sticks and wands and shrunken heads. Is this the symbol? No, that's a pinwheel. Hello, Sharky Girl. How are you doing today? Thank you for stopping by. How many... Can I have more Skelly Mages, by the way? I can have an additional... Ooh. I just went from 6 Skelly Mages to 8. Very nice. And they're basically at their fullest power from this one skill, the Skeleton Mastery. I only need 1 more point in the other one, and then I can just start maxing out Revive, which would be really nice. Hello, how's it going, Gov? I don't know why I'm talking British to you. I should be talking British to Ghost Gen. And wow! We also didn't even have to go through the majority of this tomb. It literally led me straight to the exit. This is the fastest I've ever done this tomb here. One of us! One of us! One of us, blokes! That was very fortunate for me. I'm gonna dump all of these runes into my inventory, my secret inventory. And now we're gonna fight Duriel. Duriel is a giant maggot crab demon that works for the other big brothers. But I'm just chilling, man. We got skeletons to do this shit for me. I'm just gonna literally stand here and do nothing as best I can. And if I see a minion die, I'm gonna replace him like that. So this is insane. Normally I have to walk back and forth hitting him and like healing myself because he's freezing me. That's what's really annoying. That's why all my skeletons are blue. But yeah, look at them. I don't have to do shit. I don't have to do fucking shit. And he dropped 3 uniques for me. So they're probably not really that great, but that's still a lot more uniques than I normally see him drop. That's not bad, dude, considering he's Duriel. Bone Snap, that could be cool for a druid, maybe? What about this giant sword? Kinemil, aw, that's kind of lame. Poleaxe? Battle Branch, also kind of lame. Oh well, bye-bye. See, not the best loot ever, but cool. Alright, we're going in here. We're trying to find the mummy, but it's the angel instead, bro. What's he doing here? And he's like, hey, yo, brother of humanity, thank you for saving me. I was actually locked in here. They locked me in here, and they took the mummy's power. And now they're leaving. Ah, yes, with his wings. Don't look at them too long, Ghost Gen. Don't look at them too long. You'll become captivated, and then you won't escape. As in, like, hypnotized, not some other thing. Now, where am I going to put this giant bone snap? Do I want to make a druid? I don't think I do. So here's the things I don't need. And here are some things I could use if I play a sorceress on this side. Right here. Uh-huh. Alright, so these things I don't think I really need. I'm kind of on the fence about those. Like, maybe I could make a different character later and use these. But I don't really know if I want to play any of those. Someone earlier asked me the one I like the least. I would say maybe Druid, just because I'm not interested in the life aesthetic. I'm interested in the death aesthetic, okay? I'm interested in the skeletons and the zombies more than I am interested in the bears and the wolves and the were stuff, personally. Just a personal opinion. I'm not even a hater. I just like the skeletons more. I like the mage look more. I like the leather assassin look more. I'm just not a scruffy red-haired druid guy. That's just not me. Personally, I'm not a hater. I can't express that enough. Plant Devil is a druid player, and he's like one of my best friends ever. And druids are mechanically very good. You get some chips with a hamburger and a bottle of water. That's amazing work, Silix. See, now we've got it crossover. Now other people are doing it. That's amazing. Alright, so wait, I think I need to go talk to Jaren, and then we can sail further east and see one more cutscene. So, by the way, we're like 2/5 of the way through. Why am I talking to Elzix? I don't got shit to do with you. Yeah, far too many T's in that, but I could pick up what you were putting down. Way too many T's in that. And British. You are? Are you, like, living in Britain British? Or is it like your dad or grandfather was British? Because technically... No! I skipped the cutscene because I was autopiloting that conversation. Oh, man. Oh, well. Sorry, gamers. I'm very sorry we skipped the fun cutscene. Because technically I'm British, but not really. Like, in my family I am, but, like, it's on my grandmother's side. My grandfather was, I think, a Jewish American who served in World War II, and then my grandmother was a communications technician for the Royal Navy. But that's as far back as it goes for me. That's as far back. Everyone else from that point was American. But yeah. Except for my father, sorry. My father's from the Netherlands. And then my mother and everyone above her was from America. Up until my great-grandfather. What do the Brits think of the Welsh? Well, GhostGen's made some colorful jokes about sheep a few times. And then I think I made a sheep joke, but I can't remember what it was. It was a banger, though. It was a banger and mash, you know? Did I do that right? Did I do a good job? But yeah. I wouldn't say I'm very closely British. If we're going by that definition, I could say I'm British. But we never really had a lot of okay, that's not fair. My father would watch a lot of British comedy, but that wasn't because our family was British. That was because that's what he grew up watching.
Hello.
Right? So the only British thing I really consumed growing up was like spy shit and British comedy. Particularly Blackadder, okay? Nobody really has beef with them. Yeah, well, if you ever see Mimi, Mimi's like one of my first few friends on here, along with Plant Devil. Plant Devil and Mimi were like a really cool combo together. She's Welsh, and she would teach me old Welsh phrases. She taught me Marfron. If you don't know that, look it up, bruh. No, I will not clarify how to spell it. Yes, this is annoying. But that was the only one I remember. We also learned some other phrases in Aishumai. Hell yeah. I don't know what that means. But, I think one time I asked Mimi... okay, I'll explain, actually. Because it's fun, right? But I remember one time just very brazenly asking Mimi, how do you say, like, big bazongas, like, in Welsh? What would, like, the equivalent be? And then very helpfully, she provided Marfron. Marfron would be how you say it. I think it's, like, M-A-W-R space F-R-A-U-N, romanicized. Asking the important questions. I Sue. I like Sue though. Can Sue be the new past tense of C? Yes, we need to make more complications in our language, like how we have multiple cans. Like there's a bean can, but then the ability to do something. I want some big... Oh, no. Well, I didn't want to go on and talk about those. It was just funny. I talked about Mimi. I talked about it with her. She would teach me other things too, like I'm hungry. Which I then responded by rather obnoxiously and loudly saying I'm hungry, and then Big Basakas in Welsh together was a fun time. I was a lot cruder back then. But that was also back when the age limit on reality was for older people, like exclusively. So I was a lot more volatile. But then like a lot more people started kind of taking it seriously, and then I was like, I guess you're right. I don't want to be a terrible influence, you know. So I chill out. Get a bob job. I believe in you. The only reason I know any Welsh is from Dark Souls boss item vendor. They teach you Welsh in those games? That's crazy. Also, we sailed to Act 3. Act 3 is in the jungle. It's really cool. I also like the music here. A lot of people don't like this act because it's a lot of dark greens, and the map layout can be confusing if you don't metagame everything on YouTube, but you couldn't do that back in the day, so I can understand why people maybe hated this map. But I don't hate all of Act 3. I think it's nice. And some of my best drops ever were in this act, straight up. I got more luck just randomly playing this act than I ever did grinding Bale over and over and over. Bale's the final boss, sorry, for people who don't play. But yeah, I got more luck just randomly killing trash mobs out here than I ever did killing Bale hundreds of times. Like, I found hard currency out here. Anyway, that's enough of that. And Dark Souls is awesome. I want to play that sometime on stream too and try to have a full playthrough. I've only ever played a dumbass tank that fat rolled through the whole game until I wisened up and changed my character loadout. And then a second playthrough on Remastered when I made a sorceress, like a typical blue spellcaster, not holy, or anything like that. I would just cast the magic missile type shit over and over. That was nice. It's nice to snipe the enemies and kind of chill out and not be overthinking every single little move about stepping off of a ledge or how to encircle around an enemy and backstab them when you could just shoot a magic missile. Pew! And they fall over. And then you just walk through the map. It's great. Of course, then there's ones that hide and come out and you have to lure them out and then you have to fight them, but you know what I mean. Thank you for the necktie red. I super appreciate that. I am going to get off for now. We just hit 2 hours and 13 minutes. Thank you guys for joining my little grind on Diablo 2. I just wanted to play this tonight because I was like a little like zonked after work. But thank you everyone for the very fun chat and for chilling with me as we leveled up and did some grinding. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely evening. Night-night, Ghost Gen. Thank you. And I'll see you later, Perry. Now, one more thing is my rare little Vampire the Masquerade shirt is coming in tomorrow. It is a pre-order from back in 2004. And we're going to open it up, unboxing, and then play the vampire game. And then I might actually turn the adult filter on, which means there probably won't be a lot of people. Either that or I'll do the age in chat thing. I'm still deciding. But yes, and then I'm just going to play the first act of the game and show you guys what's up and have some fun talking about the vampires. So yeah, if you want to see that, I'll be on tomorrow. Hope you guys have a lovely evening. I'll see you later. Please get a yummy snack for me, as in eat it for me. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye, Silix. Bye-bye, Ghost Gen. Thank you so much, everybody. Get a bottle of water, Cheerio in it, tea and crumpets.